So we just found out that Ford is not bringing the Ranger Raptor to the United States. Car is a general term that can be used for anything. 2019, there is a huge fly in my face. Senior producer Chris McGraw here for Autoblog. Yeah. So we just found out that the Ford Ranger Raptor is not coming to the United States, which is a real shame because it is really awesome. Audio for engine. So as you can see here, we have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder bi-turbo diesel engine. Now that engine makes roughly 211 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. And as far as gas mileage, it makes roughly the equivalent of 28 miles per gallon. And much like the F-150 Raptor, it has a completely different grille with Ford in the front. The lower bumper is exclusive to the Ranger Raptor, and as you probably have noticed, it's a super wide truck. In fact, this truck is almost 6 inches wider than the regular Ranger. Listen to this. Yeah, that's high-strength aluminum alloy. It is covered with 2 coats of paint. The final coat, of course, is this tough, scratch-resistant paint here. These 17-inch wheels are wrapped in BF Goodrich KO2s. So they're specifically made for this truck, and they are 285 70R 17s. So the engineers said that they built this truck to be able to do over 100 miles per hour off-road, which is an insane speed to think about. Regardless of the speed though, this wouldn't be an off-road truck if it didn't have a skid plate. This one specifically is 2.3 millimeters thick and is made of steel. This thing's got Fox shocks. Ford went through 42 prototypes of the front and 74 of the rear before deciding on the shocks that you see here, and it does show. There is a ton of badging on this car. First one that stands out is this Raptor badge on the step there. Moving back, you have this huge Raptor decal. You have another Raptor badge right here, matching Raptor decal on the side, and another Raptor stamped in this step. Oddly enough, there isn't anything that says Ford Raptor on the front of the truck, other than the fact that this is a grille that no other Rangers have. Now, if you look around this interior, you may think to yourself, this looks pretty familiar to me, and that's because a lot of it is the same as the regular Ford Ranger with some key differences. If you look, we have contrast stitching on the steering wheel and on the leather of the seats. Speaking of the seats, they are super comfortable. They have a great balance between both support and comfort. You can see there's Ford Performance and Raptor on the floor. There's Raptor on the steering wheel, and then of course there's Raptor on the seats. Let's talk about these paddle shifters. They're made out of magnesium, not plastic, so they feel really good in the hand, though they are pretty close to both the turn signal and the windshield wipers. There are 2 on-road modes. There's normal mode, which emphasizes comfort and fuel economy, and then there's sport mode, which is for more spirited on-road driving, which maps out the transmission to hold onto gears longer and downshift more aggressively. The 4 off-road modes are grass, gravel, and snow for off-road slippery conditions. You have mud and sand mode for conditions that have less traction, rock mode for rock crawling when you want really low speed stuff, and finally Baja mode, which is like an off-road sport mode, which pairs back traction control and holds onto gears longer and downshifts more aggressively. This tailgate opens relatively easily and closes relatively easily thanks to this spring in here, but it's lacking a lot of the bells and whistles that are out with a lot of tailgates right now. Those bells and whistles really though are not used by most people and just add weight. So I kind of like that this is super simple. Inevitably when you go off-roading, you'll get stuck. And that's why we have these here. We got tow and recovery hooks. They're rated over 4 tons. There's 2 in the back and 2 in the front.